Recording, yeah.
Yeah,
Good afternoon, ma'am. How are you doing?
yeah. Good afternoon, ma'am. Thank you so much asking. Thank you.
Okay, so yes, I am also pretty well. And let's start our conversation as we already know about each other. But for the audience, let's give a brief introduction.
Yes, yeah, ma'am. Definitely. Okay, ma'am. Introduce myself. My name is Neha. I'm from Delhi. I'm a homemaker, and yeah, I'm providing offline tuition classes last 8 years. If we talk about my qualification, I did my master's in political science and also completed my BEd. I clarify CTET paper too. Yeah, nowadays I'm learning this language for the sake because as a profession this is a compulsion for me. That's why, and behind the reason also one of started one of my YouTube channel, not a big, like tiny YouTube channel. Last in June started Learn with Sneha. Yeah, ma'am. Nowadays I'm working on that and also my speaking skills also.
Very nice. I'm really delighted to listen to you. Your introduction is too much expressive and confidence. You are filled with confidence. That's really commendable. I can see the drastically changement in yourself because when I met
Yeah.
earlier,
Thank you
first
so much.
time I interacted, so
Yeah.
that time I can say that now you are more confident than earlier,
Yes.
right? Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay,
So much,
let
ma'am,
me
for your
introduce myself. I am
so much.
Anjana, connecting to you from Uttar Pradesh. I completed my master's in English literature. Talking about my interest, I enjoy watching English podcast as they help me improve my language skills and broaden my perspective. I am a passionate teacher. I enjoy
Hmm.
teaching. I enjoy helping others learn and grow. Moreover, I run a YouTube channel where I create English conversation content
Hmm.
with the aim of enhancing my communication skills and building my confidence among learners. Teaching is not
Yes.
only my profession, but it is also my passion. I believe in
Hmm.
self learning and self
Hmm.
improvement. Yeah, that's all about
Yeah.
me.
Nice introduction. Likewise, ma'am, I'm also passionate about teaching since my childhood.
Okay.
I'm very passionate about teaching. Yeah, really.
Okay, since your childhood, so
Yes,
let me
since
know
my
that
childhood.
it was your aim to be a teacher or you had any different aim.
No, no, no. Actually, my aim, like I've become a government teacher, but somehow, unfortunately, lots of things because after marriage, like lots of responsibility, my children responsibility on my shoulder. That's why. But yeah, nowadays
Mhm.
again, this thing happened with me. I've also tried something new, and because when I go through with this English speaking journey, that truly changed my life. Life change. Why I'm saying this word because when you have a good command on English, you have a great opportunity in your future and related to your profession because I'm providing tuition classes offline last 10 years. This is very play a very crucial role in my profession. Yeah, nowadays feel very confidence when I teach my students, and also I feel a very drastically change in my communication skills, even my personality also.
It sounds really great. And I appreciate you that you want to restart your journey with teaching
Hmm.
because I believe that age doesn't matter. Age is just a
Yeah,
number.
ma'am, really,
We can
just a
start,
number, really.
we can restart our journey at any time, right?
Hmm.
Even though
Right, right.
we don't know what will happen after few minutes also, right?
Hmm.
Many people live
Yes.
life only for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, who knows
See.
how
Hmm.
long we will
Hmm.
live, right? So
Hmm.
it
Right,
doesn't
right.
matter that after 40 or after 30 if you start your career, so it doesn't matter that now you don't have long
Yes.
life, how are you starting your career again? It's
Hmm.
not like that. If I talk about
Right.
Vivekanand didn't live long, right? He had
Right.
only few years, but in his few years life, he lived marvelous life. Even he became a great personality, or a memorable person for each and everyone. We can learn a lot of
Every
things from his life, right? So we
Mhm.
can learn from his life that within a few period of life, he taught us so many lessons: how to live life, how to have a great understanding regarding life, right? So
Right, right,
it doesn't matter how long you live, matter is it how you live. So I'm
right.
really appreciate
Definitely.
you that if you
Yeah.
didn't get chance earlier because of your kids, but now you have time, you have that potential, so you can restart. Beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
Great.
You are right. Like as a woman, we have a lots of responsibility on our shoulder. After
Yeah.
marriage, our life is totally changed somehow because lots of responsibilities. Yeah, but you are right. Like we have learned like burn a midnight oil for our studies also. That's most of the
Great.
time we
Great.
also felt very rich. Yeah, this is, and also
Hmm.
like you are right. You age just a number. You have a burning desire to something learning. Not I'm not talking about the English. Like anything you want in your life. But first of all, you have a passion, you have a dedication, and you have a burning desire for that thing. Definitely you succeed any age,
Mm-hmm.
how by hook or crook you learn, you do your work. Yeah, definitely true about this.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Okay. And what about your time management? Like being a homemaker, I can understand it's very challenging to set
Mm.
a time for yourself and having time for yourself, making YouTube conversation, practicing and teaching. So there are lot of on your plate. How do you deal with all
Mm.
these things?
Yeah, actually, sometime was earlier when I was started at that time, very Herculean task for me because my plate is totally full. I'm a homemaker, I'm a mother, and after that, I'm also like an offline tutor. But somehow, because I have a burning learning this language, because this is a compulsion for me. That's why nowadays I'm to do make a to do list before the session. In a one day, at least I recorded two in like three sessions for my YouTube channel for another YouTuber also. Yeah, and how nowadays I'm at least make like each and every day make my day productive. That's how
Very
I'm
good.
try. Yeah, yeah.
Very good. You shared wonderful thing that you just first you complete your to-do list, because I believe
Mm,
also like you just go with the
mm.
flow, you can never get time for yourself,
Yeah, right,
because we
right.
are always occupied with our household chores or
Mm,
responsibilities.
yeah.
But
Mm,
if you get ready with the to-do list, definitely you will
mm.
be able to follow the all work on the same time.
On the
As I
time
can
with the
say,
discipline.
yes.
Right.
Hmm. Earlier, I just told you that I have time after 3, right? But you
Mm,
just requested
mm.
for at 2. So I managed my time. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But I thought
Great.
like I will be free after 3. But when we
Mm.
decided that no, I have to complete
Yeah,
my
yeah.
work within this particular time.
This
So,
time, particular
like
time,
our
right.
mind just get ready for doing the work,
Mm.
finish the work as early we can.
Yeah,
So
on time.
yeah,
Right,
so
right.
that's why to-do list work a lot for each and every one.
Yeah, definitely.
If you give target to your mind, like you have to finish this work within few minutes or like this, so we can do.
Mm.
Otherwise, we can be busy every time.
Every time. Because as a homemaker, we are all time occupied. Each and
Yes,
every time
yes.
like this and that lots of work is, but somehow when you make your plan like this time and that time I complete my work, then after that I do this and do that. That's how we also productive our day. But
Yeah,
somehow without
yes.
your planning, without your set your goal, your day is not
Mm-hmm.
productive. That is earlier was I'm also like this is felt very very nearly really.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. And sorry to interrupt you, ma'am. Your video is blurred. So how is my video? Is my video
Your
also
video?
blurred?
No, no. Actually, my place is there. The rain outside. That's maybe
Okay,
there's a
that's why
network
you.
issue.
I
Yes,
don't
yes.
know how will we get recording because your, face is totally blur. It is not clear. So
Right now in
I,
front of me, my and your picture is very clear.
okay, but
Yes.
I don't know about
Yeah.
the recording. What will we get? Okay, let it
After
be.
that, we will check.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
least practice
Okay.
is going on. No worries. Right.
Yeah, definitely. This is house. Like very
Yeah.
good for us.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Of course. Yes.
Okay. And somehow, ma'am, like four aspect is very important. Each and every YouTuber, each and every person will go through with all aspect. But somehow, what is your perception? Reading is best for beginner and like especially for like the advanced people. Beginner is also useful or not? What is your perception about it?
Okay. You are asking about reading, like reading is helpful or not.
Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
For the beginner
Very
especially,
good.
because somehow the people initially stage with the struggling, because that's how listening also reading writing which one is perfect for him and her. But somehow, what is your perception? Reading is good for beginner or not?
Mm-hmm. Great question. Really, you have asked. Uh, yes, it is said that there are four pillars for learning this language: reading, listening, speaking, and
Hmm.
writing, right? But I prefer always listening a lot. If I talk about
Hmm.
reading, reading also helps. Yes, but we should start reading as a beginner from the basic
Hmm.
English. If you are a beginner, first check your level. This type of English you can understand because
Hmm.
there are many types of books, like some are advanced or some have basic English. So, according to our level, we should start reading. Reading also helps a lot because we can improve our vocabulary, sentence structure,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
pronunciation also. So if
Yeah,
they are
right.
beginners, so they should start from easy books. So that's how they can understand easily or they can
Hmm.
learn easily. What is the benefit of
Hmm.
reading? Like if you are not understanding the matter topic, yeah, so you can't learn.
Yeah, yeah, right.
And if
Yeah.
you try to mug up, you will definitely forget. So we need to
Hmm.
understand the topic. So reading
Right, right.
helps a lot.
Yeah. Okay, ma'am. I'm adding one point with your point also, because my perception as a beginner, reading is not most important, but at least you start with some story books also, like children books
Yes.
also you start with, because somehow you also learn like how to make a structure, basic structure, where we use is are and these are aspect we learn by the like children
Mhm.
stories also. That's as a beginner, I'm suggesting you start with the like some comics books, some story books. You start with
Mhm.
your journey. That's how you
Yeah.
also you feel, because before that at least you listen something and then you reading something like little bit, not a huge content, not like a very thick book novels. No, this is initially stage. You have start with the some comics books and some story books children, that how
Mhm.
also increase your confidence, and you learn how to make a basic structure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm. Really, you are saying right.
Yeah. You have any question to me, ma'am? Please ask me.
Yes, as you asked regarding reading, so
Hmm.
what helped you initially when you started your learning journey? So, which
Hmm.
part of learning aspects would you like to give credit? Reading, speaking, listening, or writing?
In my case, ma'am, I'm totally nowadays I feel very confident because of the speaking. Because initially stage I'm also know about the, because I am last 10 to 8 years I'm into teaching. But somehow I have a knowledge like grammatical aspect because I teach each and every day. But somehow I'm not habitual of speaking. That is a big task for me. But last 3 and 4 months, I'm totally consistent with speaking and also listening also. For whenever
Mhm.
I doing my household chores, I listening some
Mhm.
like podcast and conversation video. But somehow
Mhm.
nowadays I am like totally a very like drastically change in my communication skills. Somehow speaking. Because when
Mm.
you speak more and more with the people, that's how you also change, drastically change in your communication skills. Because somehow we have a great knowledge as a subject we have, but somehow how to use that is a big task, right?
Mm.
And sometimes we feel also all time we writing something like grammatical aspect and listen something, but when we you like do not try in your communication skills and how to
Yes.
judge where are you still, yeah, are you beginner, are you advanced, and which things you learn are more. That's how you start speaking. Then after day to day also recognize your progress by yourself. That is the one
Mm-hmm.
thing. And another thing, I'm not compared really. Like earlier was I'm not compared to another person, and nowadays I'm also not compared, because each and every person their story, their their self. But somehow you focus on your progress, on your hard work. That's it. You compare by yourself, not to compare others. Because when you compare to another person, that's also you feel low. That is not good
Great.
for our journey. But somehow you also compare yourself, like earlier where you started at that time, where were you started, and
Mm.
nowadays how is your practice and how is your speaking skills. That is a you also feel a very motivation by your inner self.
Mhm. Hats off to you, ma'am. You have clarity regarding learning journey. And you
Yeah,
said well
really,
that
ma'am.
we shouldn't compare ourselves. I also do the same. That's why I never feel demotivated. Otherwise, if you
Mhm.
start looking others' journey, that oh they are
Mhm.
growing so fast or they are doing this and that, I'm not able to do that. So it's really, I think it's totally wrong. We should check
Mhm.
or analyze our journey. How was I earlier and how am I today?
Yes.
So if you
Yeah,
are
right, right.
putting your all efforts, definitely you are going to see a lot of changement inside you. Otherwise, if you
Mhm.
are looking others' journey, you can never get success because you are not
Yeah,
putting
right,
your
ma'am.
efforts, you are just looking others. So that never
Mhm.
work, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Really, because somehow the people they have a lots of time, but somehow whenever people they have less time. That how to utilize that time, that totally depend on us. How to wisely we use social media resources in our communication skills. That's only depends on us. But somehow when we
Hmm.
compare to others, that is not good for our journey. Really.
Hmm. Yes, true. Okay, and you said that you preferred speaking and listening both part. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
what about
totally. Last
reading?
year I have.
Okay, so
Hmm.
what about reading?
Please
Have
go
you
ahead.
ever read any book or not?
Yeah, because ma'am, actually, I'm again like told you, like I'm teaching my student at that time. My reading part is completely done because somehow, first
Okay.
of all, I read it, then after that, I've explained it. But
Hmm.
last 2 weeks also develop a habit of reading. Nowadays, I'm reading
Okay.
some motivational book that is very useful for me, because lots of
Hmm.
persons they suggest me like speaking and listening is good, but somehow reading is also very important, because
Hmm.
we learn a lot of things by the reading, like also
Hmm.
how to make structure of phrases, idioms, lots of things we learn by the
Hmm.
reading. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Nowadays, also inculcate a habit of reading.
Hmm. But according to me, I think reading helps us to improve our knowledge also. Because when we
Hmm.
listen others, so sometimes we listen
Hmm.
general conversation, day to day conversation, normal just conversation, but in books we don't find general conversation or
Hmm.
general topic, right? Books are many
Yeah.
various types of books are there, like motivational, inspirational, or story also have
Motivation.
great
Yeah.
lessons we can learn, so we can understand the topic clearly. So that's how we get idea that now I am going to conversing with someone, so how can we articulate our thoughts more expressively, impressively. So
Right.
this part I like very much. So I always love
Hmm.
people like who pass their time into reading, and I can
Hmm.
see the changement of communication level, like person who are into reading. In case of my learning journey, just because of lack of time, I'm unable to give
Hmm.
time to reading. Otherwise I love reading a lot, because whenever I teach my students, because I also have some offline classes, so I used to
Hmm.
teach last year ninth class, UP board ninth class. So that book
Okay.
was amazing. Whenever I used to teach them
Hmm.
poem or prose, I used to feel good. When I was in ninth standard,
Hmm.
that time I used to feel that, oh, it's boring. What is written there, writer, right?
Hmm.
That
Right.
time,
Right.
as a
You don't
student,
have
we
any
didn't
brain. Yeah.
understand the meaning, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We used to mug up
Hmm.
only question answer like this. But now I am mature. I understand the life lessons like this. So when I teach, I engross myself and I love the lessons, like how great the scholars were. They wrote so beautifully about these
Hmm.
lessons. But yeah, just while teaching, I can read, or otherwise, I don't get my me time for reading. I can switch. No, it's not like that. But I love reading.
Sometimes also feel like go through with listening, reading, and speaking, and even writing also. Sometimes also feel very mundane. No, this is not for good for us. This is not a cup of tea for
Yeah.
us. Sometimes also we feel, yeah, you're right.
Mhm. Okay, very nice. Okay, so which up to class do you teach?
Actually, I teach first to 10th, I teach all subjects, and especially for senior classes like 11th and 12th, I teach political science, history, and English. And because
Okay,
I did my
so
master's in
students,
political science,
yeah,
yes.
you told me. So students
Hmm.
take tuitions for the political science also?
Yeah, even like lots of students, but somehow because initially stays lots of students they get like political science in 11th class, and initially stays not
Hmm.
like most of the students they are lots of curious about the lots of things, but
Okay,
somehow at that
yes.
stage,
Hmm.
yeah, yes, they're curious that like at that time you clear explain it, then after that also they
They
gain up the knowledge.
understand easily. Hmm. Yes. So these books are in English or in Hindi?
Yeah, no, actually nowadays, like government school also providing not in Hindi, most of them in English. Yes,
Okay.
that's why this is a compulsion I told you. That's why I'm
Hmm.
like day to day I'm also working on my speaking skills because
Okay.
like earlier was only private schools books are in English, but nowadays
Hmm.
government school even nursery and KG books all are in
Yeah. Okay, got it. So now
English.
English is not only your passion, it has become your
Hmm.
compulsion or mandatory.
Yeah, yeah. Because ma'am, English is not my passion really. When I was in college, at that time I was good in academics. I'm not focusing on my like how to speak and how to converse the people. No, I'm not.
Same
But
happened
last year
with
I'm also
me.
realized. Yeah,
Hmm.
last year I'm also realized. Yeah, this is the compulsion for me because when you growth in your career, that is mandatory. You have a good command on it.
Because
That's why I'm
we
learning.
are kids of 90s now, that's why. We are not Gen Z, we are kids of 90s, that's why we had the
Right.
same
And
idea,
also,
same
yeah,
life.
yes. At the time, we did not focusing on English or not. No, this is we are academically good. That's good. Well, gaining good marks in our
Yes,
like the
yes,
science
yes.
history and English, that is enough for us. But somehow, when you uplift your knowledge with the new generation, that is first of all you have a good command on English.
Mm. But we should proud of
Definitely.
ourselves, like according to the generation, we have that caliber to put our efforts. We are not thinking that, oh, it's not my age or it's not my time. I never like this kind of
Mm.
people. Like they think about the age, like it's not my age. What is age? No. If your,
Mm.
passion is alive, so you can learn anything at any time,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Mm.
The passion is a must. You have a passion by hook or crook, you find out the time for your
Great.
dreams, for your definitely you come.
Yes. But as you know, I think like according to me, teacher have different kind of mindset because as much as I connect with the uh, teacher, they always think like this, like there is no need to think age, like you can start your journey at any age. But as much as I meet with homemakers, like they are totally homemaker, they don't want to learn anything, so they don't think so, their
Mm.
perception is different, right? So that's
Mm.
why I
Mm.
think knowledge or education is so much important for each and everyone, that
Really,
it
really,
opens our mind, it makes our perception change, right?
Yes,
Otherwise,
definitely.
people think according to the environment, society, in which the environment they live, they just think like that. Or if you read
Yes,
a lot
and
of
so,
books, so you get,
yeah, that is also very helpful for us.
hmm, yes. Okay, now time is up, ma'am. And
Yeah,
randomly we started talking, but we really had a great session. I really enjoyed this
yeah,
conversation.
likewise.
Thank you for joining.
Likewise.
Okay,
Thank you so much,
bye
ma'am.
bye.
Thank you. Okay, bye bye. Have a nice day.
Same to you. Bye.